Hello, everybody. I'd like to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, the Transgender Center of the Rockies, a program of Mile High Behavioral Healthcare. They are this season's Authenticity Ambassador, and we thank them for their support. I'd also like to thank this week's sponsor, Trust Brigade, for being this week's Authenticity Advocate. Thank you so much for your support. Check them out at trustbrigade.org. Welcome to Being You, an SPH Productions presentation. My name is Shane Hodges, licensed professional counselor and author of It's Time to Be You, How to Become Your Most Authentic Self. My guest today is Enmanuel Alexander, Denver's tallest guitarist. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I like to start the show with a rapid-fire Q&A. I get 60 seconds to ask you as many quick answer questions as possible and see how many we get through.
Okay, great.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The street you grew up on?
2 streets, Arkansas Avenue and Lansing Street.
First paid gig?
Okay, you're gonna have to give me like 10 seconds.
It's all good.
Well, it has to have been, I think, a church gig.
Okay, all
Small
right.
church.
Musical inspiration?
I would say Stevie Wonder.
Ooh, nice. A smell you hate?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with like some weird type of fish or some
Oh.
pig's feet or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Can you drive a stick?
I could try.
Who's the best jazz sax player?
Jazz sax player. I love John Coltrane, so I'm just
Okay.
gonna say that.
How long does it take you to get ready for a date?
15 minutes?
What's your go-to comfort food?
Oh man, I really love like quesadillas recently.
Ooh, all
Recently.
right.
Yeah.
Chicken, beef, just
Oh,
cheese?
sometimes it's cheese, but chicken. Yeah.
Nice. Is there a place you like to go?
No, not really. It's just I can make one at home too.
Oh, yeah. Nice. As long as it's got the cheese.
Yeah.
Well, I think we did 9, so
Oh,
not
look at
bad.
that.
Not bad. Even with the pause. Good to
Yeah,
go.
it's like
All right. Well, let's get to know a little bit more about what you do. I introduced you as the tallest guitar player in Denver. That's on your website.
that is true.
So how tall are you?
I'm about 6'7".
Oh my gosh. What size shoe is that?
It's about 13.
Oh, good Lord. Do you have to special order them?
I mean, I'm getting to the point of I don't know where to find shoes my size.
And do you
Huge.
have a kind of shoes that you like?
Yeah, generally go for Vans or Converse, which
Nice.
in Converse you have to size down like one down.
Oh,
So, and I think that's
okay.
for everyone, but yeah, I wear size 12 in Converse instead of 13.
Interesting. I saw that you were exposed to jazz at a young age, and you mentioned that your father had a lot of records. When did you know you had a passion for it?
It was really, I feel like when he showed me a couple guitar chords and I really started getting into just going into my room and learning. And then they put me in piano lessons and everything, and it just felt my teacher was definitely like, "You need to practice. You need to do this." And then it got to the point
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, "I don't know if I want to do this anymore." And then I got to middle school, and I was like, "I want to still do music." So it was
Gotcha.
really early on where my dad just always had instruments in the house. He played guitar. And
Okay.
then also his friends and some of my friends also were musicians as well. So it kind of naturally we just did that, had some
Nice.
jam sessions with a couple friends,
Fun.
parents' friends and
Was
stuff.
your dad a musician as well?
Yeah, he was, hobbyist musician.
Mm-hmm.
He played guitar here and there, but he was mainly like a handyman slash play structure creator, woodworker, just
Nice.
kind of doing all that stuff. So
Very cool. And is it true that you play all of these instruments? You mentioned piano,
mhm.
drums, percussion, saxophone, guitar, and bass.
Yep.
Did I miss any?
I think that's pretty much it. I'm learning harmonica right now. I'm
Okay.
also learning, would love to play upright bass.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new one.
Love an
Banjo.
upright bass. Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
can't play banjo, but I am learning. But yeah, all the percussion instruments I could play and learning how to sing too. Just trying to get that
Okay.
going for me.
Well, we'll come back to the singing. With the instruments, which was the hardest to learn?
I feel like guitar was the hardest to learn.
Okay.
Saxophone was actually, I would say that is harder because I haven't played it in a while.
Hmm.
But once you get like all the fingerings and you just memorize those,
Yeah,
that's it.
I
It's
love a
just really
sax.
easy.
I love
Yeah.
a saxophone. Your residency at Meadowlark, called Off the Cuff, is described as an interactive improv session. Can you tell us a bit more about what that entails?
So what I do on that night is I host a session where I hire a band or I just get some of my friends, musician friends, to
Hmm.
come along and we create a band for that night. And there's no charts, there's no music, there's no anything. We are just like bam, just at the drop, when it hits 10, we just go and we
Wow.
create things on the spot. I try to keep it intentional because,
Hmm.
so it's interactive in the sense of we're interacting with other members of the band that we probably haven't played with before,
Interesting.
or other members could come up, maybe a singer or a poet, and can totally change the vibe or change what we're playing. So it's very a
Wow.
kind of push and pull, but also multiple entities and experiences can
I
happen in
was
this
gonna
one session.
say that sounds very interesting. I might have to check that out.
Yes.
And the Meadowlark, that's in 5 points, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What have you noticed in terms of what do you take away from it?
That's a good question. I've noticed that some people, some musicians aren't well skilled in improv or they
Mm-hmm.
haven't done it before. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is something completely new to them, which is awesome. I love seeing their faces as we're playing something and they're just infatuated or just enamored of what's happening. And they're like, what's going on? I want to know more. And so they come out and they talk to me like, how does this work? And I've noticed that happens, but also on the other side of the spectrum, musicians, they love it. It's a place where they can just come up and solely just express themselves and
Mm-hmm.
be themselves. And that's what I really try to harbor for that night. So
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it every week, every Wednesday since 2023, but I've had the idea in 2021 and I kind of started doing it when the
Okay.
pandemic lifted and stuff started opening
Nice.
up.
Yeah.
And yeah, taking that off the cuff.
Also on your website, it indicates that you are dedicated to creating a platform for underrepresented voices. Why is that important to you, and what would you like your legacy to be for that venture?
Being that I am from Aurora, Colorado, which is one of the most diverse cities in Colorado,
Hmm.
probably the most, it felt like since I grew up here, I wanted to bring something and represent myself and be proud of where I'm from. And
Hmm.
so I was like, I want to create a place where me being black, but I'm my parents are from the island, so I'm not really
Okay.
necessarily black American, but I am in the sense if
Hmm.
you look at me, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And just being around so many different genres of people in my school throughout my schooling.
Hmm.
I just wanted to be like, okay, I need to represent so many different Black, Brown, Indigenous, Asian, Ethiopian, so many different folks that I've created friendships and just like
Hmm.
harbored just beautiful, lasting friendships with. And I just wanted to bring some of those people that, they don't feel comfortable coming out to Denver because it's like they don't see people that look like them.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
definitely get.
Especially in the music scene as well too here.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, I know only a handful of black and brown guitarists and even just less of a handful that actually study jazz or went to school or
Hmm.
actually are a professional musician. So I'm like, okay, I want to try to see if I can bring those people out of wherever they are.
When did that start? How old were you?
Like, when did what start?
That you
Just,
wanted to bring people together and provide spaces where people could be themselves and
mm,
felt accepted.
wow, that's a really good question. I think I didn't really actually start feeling that until after I graduated. And then I went to college and I just felt the complete opposite side of, oh, now I'm in college, which was actually really cool. I went to MSU Denver,
Hmm.
which is a commuter campus. So
Hmm.
there's so many different types of people there. So I actually
Right.
felt pretty good. But yeah, when I really want to start bringing people together, I would say it was when I went through the phase of finding out what I actually wanted to do. I went to college for a year and I completely butched it. It was so bad. I was in my first relationship. I went to college for a year and I was trying to do marketing or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, going into business, which was stupid because I love music so much. Like, why didn't I just do that? I just didn't have the confidence to be like, oh, I'm going to try out for this drum program or this, you know what I mean? And so that whole thing tanked and I lost my financial aid and I had
Mm.
a point less than one
Oh
GPA
wow.
and it was so bad. And then that just sparked me being alone and really trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what I wanted to get better at. And so I think it was around 2014, 2015 where I actually felt the call to start diving into myself and then
Mm-hmm.
I was able to finally
Yeah.
bring people in probably about when I graduated high school or outside of college, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
in 2020. Then I
Sure.
started doing more stuff outside. Yeah.
Well, you have recently come out with your debut album, Off the
hmm
Cuff, live at the Meadowlark.
hmm
How would you describe the album?
I would describe it as a perfect example of what off the cuff is in the moment. Everything is just in the present, being in that room. You can hear the chatter, you can hear the clapping, you can hear people screaming and yelling and just being so enamored by what's happening on stage. And also, you can hear the musicians interacting, like laughing and just having a good time. And
Nice.
yeah, it just feels really cool that for my first album, it's live. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a really, it is off the cuff as a whole, where it's like, okay, this is solely us and
Mm-hmm.
in our moment, in the expression. And it's really cool to see that and have it printed, put it on wax, and you can keep listening to it and then still have that experience
Very
years
cool.
later.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that. Let's get a little bit more personal.
Okay.
You mentioned that you grew up in Aurora,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah.
And with regard to growing up in Aurora, you said it's one of the most diverse, if not the most diverse cities in Colorado.
Mhm.
How would you describe the diversity of Aurora and or Denver and what you have experienced in terms of being someone who is seen as a black man here?
Mhm. Growing up, it didn't feel I was black enough to be with the black kids or you know what I mean? Like I just I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere really
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not solely like a black American that's from the South, right? My parents are from the Caribbean, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have a different skin tone, I have different hair and everything, and so it was a little jarring for me, and I didn't really realize the disconnect until I started seeing it in other people, actually, just other friends of mine. My mom's Dominican, my dad's Grenadian, so it's like I have this Hispanic bloodline, Latino, but also Black American, but also like Caribbean Black. So it's a lot of different feelings coming up, and I feel like the diversity, I didn't see it. Growing up in
Mm.
Aurora, I was just like, my friends are my friends. I didn't care if they're black or
I
white
see
or
what you mean.
Asian. I was always just hanging with whoever wanted to hang with me, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, you know? So,
Mm-hmm. How long have your parents lived here?
my parents lived here probably since 1993. I was born in 94. I was born in New York, and then
Okay,
they drove to Colorado because my dad had his brother, a couple brothers here. So they're
gotcha.
like, okay, let's go to Colorado.
How do you
Really?
like Colorado?
You know what? At first, as when I was growing up, I was like, well, where am I? Like, I'm in the middle of a country where you got to drive 7, 8 hours to get to another state, and then
Mm-hmm.
that state's fine too. It's not like it's California or anything. But yeah, it's definitely grown on me. And every year, I think I'm just more and more, I feel so blessed to
Mm-hmm.
have grown up here because I don't know, stuff could have really changed if I stayed in New York or if I grew up in the
Mm.
South or if I grew up literally anywhere
Mm-hmm.
else. And I feel like part of me feels really safe to grow up in Colorado, being the
Mm-hmm.
being black in Colorado. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
always met with there's some sort of kindness that is Colorado and a
Nice.
very beautiful sense of I don't know, there is that calmness in a
Mm-hmm.
way, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And a lot of people here are all about nature because we
Right.
have a lot of it. Are
Oh
you
yeah.
outdoorsy? Are you
Yeah,
into nature?
I'm into nature, yeah. I don't hike or anything, but
Mhm.
my parents used to take us camping all the
Mm.
time. I used to ski, snowboard.
Okay.
I would spend some time in the mountains just hanging out. I wouldn't say like I'm super nature, but I love nature so
Gotcha.
much and the trees and just going up to the mountains and just sitting by a river is just so nice. Like we have
Mm.
the opportunity to do that
Yes.
just 30 minutes, an hour
Hmm.
away, you know.
Well, when you're not being musical, how do you spend your time? What do you do for fun?
Recently this year, I started picking golf back up.
Okay.
I really love playing golf. I used to do it in high school a lot, and then I kind of just dropped it just because I didn't have a place that I was living that I could
Hmm.
store my clubs, or I didn't have a car, and so it was really tough for me. But I play some golf. I also play softball whenever I can with some friends,
Hmm.
whatever. I also spend time tinkering with a lot of electronics. I built a computer in
Oh,
2021,
wow.
learned a lot about electronics in that sort of sense. I
Hmm.
do some soldering, little solderings here and there. Like
Nice.
I play a lot of video games. I watch anime, I read manga, and I also love just, I don't know, just hanging with friends and I don't know, doing random stuff. Like I'm always down to do something new. I'm
Nice.
always for adventures and I love going on road trips.
Well, if you could meet anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Yeah, this is a really like I think it changes for me.
Hmm.
And right now what's coming to mind is Quincy Jones, just
Mm.
because he's an amazing producer, composer,
Yeah.
and has done incredible work. I just want to pick his brain on like
Uh-huh.
how do you just sit and then write a whole tune on a napkin and then the next and then just
Right.
compose it and then it's like bam, that's it. That's the song. So
Some people are just born with certain talents.
yeah, totally.
It's
So
wild.
Quincy Jones would be one for sure.
Hmm. What do you think 12-year-old you would be surprised to find out about who you are today?
Wow. I think he would be really surprised that I'm a huge stoner.
Okay.
um,
My 12-year-old self. Yeah.
yeah, super
That's funny.
surprised. Also, when I was 12, I feel like I was really into sports.
Hmm.
And I think the music didn't hit until getting into the teen years. And so I would be really surprised to see that I'm actually
Hmm.
taking music seriously instead of a sport, which
Hmm.
is like baseball
Yeah.
probably or golf.
Well, what does it feel like when you are being 100% fully and completely you?
Oh, the feeling is just amazing. It is something that I've strived for and to just I always tried to be 100% me.
Mm.
And there was a time in high school where I just was not confident and just was lacking this sort of sense of authenticity of being myself.
Hmm.
And I was such a gabber. I don't know. I didn't smoke weed at this time. I would just be saying stuff that I'm just like a I would just be talking and not really thinking about what I'm saying. And then yeah, change, kind of get it out of high school, put a different perspective on me and
Hmm.
like at the end of it all, I'm waking up and it's me who I need to feel good about. Like I wake up and
Hmm.
I'm like, why do I feel like shit? So I think that's something that I really was like, I have to figure this out first. And then I'm able to be like, this is just who I am, and
Hmm.
people can see it, and they see the energy, they see the aura,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's emitted, it's just like a,
How old were
almost,
you when that started to be realized?
I think it was like 22, 23. It was definitely later
Hmm.
because it was really hard to embed myself when I'm under my parents' roof. I felt
Mm.
like there was a challenge that I needed to be this sort of son and I couldn't fully be myself. It was really hard and I just didn't understand what was happening. I didn't know it at the time. Then I moved out, lived with my sister for a bit, and that was just a little hint of who do I want to be? How do I be me, myself? And then I went, and when I figured it out, it was 2024 or 2014. It was about 2021. I turned in 2015, or I turned 21 in 2015. And then, yeah, when I turned 21, 22-ish, that's when I actually made the jump to go to start studying the stuff that I actually wanted to do. And that was really it. I like
Yeah.
woke up one day and I was like, what am I doing? Like,
When you start making those decisions for yourself
yes,
based on what you want or need,
yes,
huge difference.
yes.
So,
It was super needed. Yeah.
well, this brings us to the wow segment of our show, the words of wisdom. I like to ask all of my guests, what words of wisdom, nuggets, advice, or feedback do you have for others in terms of being your most authentic self?
I think you should, it's really hard, but you should be patient with yourself because it doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifelong journey, but it's also, there's the words of wisdom that I just want to share is you just have to be honest with yourself. And if there's something that it feels like you're lying to yourself, you have to just focus on that and be like, okay, I need to cut this
Absolutely.
out. And I need to be like, what do I need that will make me so happy in the moment? And if it's just a simple little task of you waking up and doing this one thing, maybe 3 times a day, that will just make your like life just that much better, then do
Yeah.
it, you know?
I
And
appreciate that you say it's a lifelong journey because I often have this conversation with clients and I say, the fun part is the work is never done. Yay. And it can be overwhelming and it can be exciting.
yeah,
What I tell people is while it is hard, it is the most liberating thing I think you will ever experience.
yeah,
To just let go of that version of you that isn't you.
yeah.
So,
And saying letting go is a huge thing
yeah.
because there's some things that are just not meant for you. And
hmm
you have to just say bye.
And you also made the comment about your parents. And I think a lot of us, especially when we're still living at home or we're younger, so much of it is based on what do my parents want? What do they expect? Who am I being for them? So it's nice when we can get to that point where we have that independence to make our own choices.
Yeah,
So,
the independence is really important when it comes to being you because no one
mhm.
else is gonna. Because my parents were like, I think you need to do this. You need to do this." And so it's like, "Oh, me?
Yeah.
I need to do this?
Uh-huh.
For
Yeah.
why? For you? For my parents? No, I want to
Oh.
do what I want to do for me." And then once I figure that out, it's just been an uphill journey and I've
hmm
just loved life every single day as soon as I made that decision where it was like
Yeah.
I need to start doing what I want to do and what I love to do. And as soon as that hit, it was just like, okay,
Yeah.
everything started falling in place. So
It's funny, you are now the second interview I've done in this season where I am going to tell you, I'm going to use that clip with some of my clients and their parents
mm,
because I work with a lot of adolescents and
yeah,
I end up working sometimes with their parents. And it's like, okay, are you doing this for your kid or for you?
yeah.
Yeah. So I
It's just like
appreciate that. What information would you like to share in terms of socials, website information, etc., so people can find you and find out more about you?
yeah, my socials, I go by name backwards, NameBackwards. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, not TikTok. I'm hacked, apparently. So I'm gonna have to make a new one. But I also have a Squarespace, namebackwards.squarespace.com, where you can find all my stuff there. I generally post mostly on Instagram. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get off of a social media,
hmm
but it is useful in this day and age.
Right.
So I also stream on Twitch, name
Okay.
backwards, and I'm releasing my music on Bandcamp solely because I want to stay away from streaming as much as
Mhm.
I can, just because I love the interaction with actual physical people and
Yep.
word of mouth goes around, and I just want the physical kind of connection to share my music. So yeah, that's my socials, name backwards, almost on everything.
So thank you so much again for being here. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and look forward to see what comes next.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It was really cool to just get an email randomly and checked out your stuff and your book, and I was like, oh, it's cool,
Thank you.
Uh, so thanks for seeking me out. I appreciate that.
I thank you and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you all for watching. My name is Shane Hodges, licensed professional counselor, author of It's Time to Be You, How to Become Your Most Authentic Self. Take care of yourselves and be you. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks again to the Transgender Center of the Rockies for being this season's Authenticity Ambassador. We appreciate all the work you do. Check them out at transgendercenteroftherockies.org.